My dream now, I came to parenthood late in life. I told you I really never wanted to have children, but now my dream is to spend as much time as I can with my little girls. There's nobody in the world I'd rather have dinner with than my little girls. I spend as much time as I can with them. My dream is to grow up with them. As I say, I came to parenthood late, so I want to get as much of it as I can. I take my little girls to school every day on a bicycle. You know, I pick them up every day on a bicycle if I'm in town. I spend as much time. We read together all the time. We read a lot together. I help them with their homework. There's nothing more fun for me than being with my little girls. So my new dream is to grow up with these two little girls. It's a lot of fun. Who's got the mic?
I got the mic.
Speak.
Sorry.
Speak.
The question is, I've been following you. I thought you are short U.S. long-term government bonds. Are you, or did you stop that?
No. I have sold short United States government bonds a couple of times in the recent past. Selling short, again, for those of you who don't know, is a way you will make money when something goes down. You can make money when things go down. It's called selling short. I'm not short at the moment. You know, each time I've tried, I've been wrong. So I'm waiting to sell short government bonds again, because as I said before, as I look around the world, excuse me, as I look around the world, one of the bubbles that I see developing in the world is the United States long-term government bond market. But I hope that someday I will short it again, and I'll be right. So, it is a big bubble.
So if you are, if you would short government bonds, then would that be with the future? Or?
There are many ways these days to short things. You can use ETFs. Many ETFs gives you even more leverage than you can get using futures. So you can use futures, or you can use ETFs.
And you're not afraid that if the, well, basically if you short government bonds, you expect the US to go bankrupt. So in that case, would financial products pay, or will they just, you know, declare shorts void or anything like that?
Well, I don't expect the US government to go bankrupt anytime soon. Just because I short government bonds doesn't mean I think the US will go bankrupt. I do think it will go bankrupt eventually, but that's years away. We had a big bear market in bonds from 1946 to 1981. Bonds went down for 35 years in the US. The US didn't go bankrupt, but bonds went down for 35 years. So you can have a bear market in bonds without bankruptcy. Who's got the mic? Go ahead.
Mr. Rogers, as you said, since oil fields are depleting and with nuclear energy getting into trouble, what do you think about coal? Metallurgical coal, any type of coal. What is your opinion on coal?
Well, the world's known reserves of oil are declining, as I said before. So I'm optimistic about just about every kind of energy, including coal. We're learning more and more ways to make coal cleaner and cleaner. So yes, I'm optimistic on all forms of energy, including coal. If you have a coal mine, don't sell it. Hang on.
And a follow-up question, please. What about coal stocks?
Well, coal stocks, it depends on, I don't know, it depends on the stock. If it's a well...
Coal. Arch coal, for example?
First of all, I don't know enough about arch coal to answer the question. What I was going to say was, if you know a company that's well managed, has good reserves, not too much debt, you might make a whole lot of money in a coal stock. But be sure you know what you're doing. I don't know arch coal, so what can I say? But if you know the right stocks, sure, you'll make a lot of money if you invest in coal stocks or any stocks, if you know the right stocks.
Yeah, I just mentioned arch coal because it's the second largest coal company in the US, and it lost 20% in the last week.
I don't know anything about it, so I don't know. There's a gentleman here who thinks arch coal is great, so you should all go home and look at it. I don't know anything about it. Who's got the mic?
Yeah.
If you have the microphone, just speak. I don't.
How long do you think will hold the fixing of the Swiss franc to the euro?
How long do I think what?
Hold the fixing.
Well, I'm thinking about buying Swiss francs myself. The Swiss National Bank banged it down recently. They want to hold it tied to the euro. So if they succeed and you own Swiss francs, the worst that happens is you stay with the euro. I think the Swiss franc will, though. The Swiss National Bank has tried this before. They tried it 2 or 3 years ago. They failed. I think they will fail again. But it's a low-risk trade because the worst that happens is you own a currency which stays with the euro. I think it's going to do better than the euro going forward. So I own some Swiss francs. I'm contemplating buying more. If I weren't here tonight, I might be buying Swiss francs right now. Who's got the mic?
Mr. Rogers, a lot of people own...
Let me just say something. If you want to ask questions in German, don't feel bad. I have I have this thing so I can understand the questions in German. So if you want to speak in German, please do so.
It's okay. Most of the people know about silver and gold. I read a book about strategic metals like indium, gallium, like those things. What are your predictions about these metals? Because they're used in so much new products like iPhones, iPads. What do you think about this?
Well, the metals as a class are known as rare earths, in English anyway. I don't know how you would say that in German. And they obviously have a great future. The supply of rare earths there are not that many of them. They're mainly controlled by China. China has over 90% of the supply. New supplies are coming on stream. It'll take a few years, but the price of rare earths has to go much higher. I don't own any, partly because the price went up so much and I missed it. I don't like to buy something that's gone up a lot. So I don't own any rare earths, and if you know what you're doing, chances are you might make a lot of money because the world does have a limited supply and rare earths are used in lots of things, as you point out. Who has the mic?
Yeah, hi.
So
yeah,
speak.
hello? Okay, sorry. There's 2 things that I want to ask. One is about gold. You just mentioned now you don't like to buy things that are going up so high, like this huge bubble of gold. And the other one is the huge bubble of silver.
Let me add. Yeah. So your question is about gold and silver?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, I own gold and I own silver. Gold has gone up 10 years in a row. That's unusual for any asset in any class. If it goes up this year, it'll be 11 years in a row. It's been very strong. Things that have been that strong usually should have a correction, a reaction. I own gold. I'm not selling my gold. If gold goes down, I will buy more gold because the price of gold is going to go much, much higher over the next few years. But hear me, it does not mean that gold cannot have big corrections. In the 1970s, gold went up 600%, and then gold turned around and went down 50%. It scared the socks off many investors, and many people sold and dumped their gold because gold went down 50%. After gold went down 50% and scared everybody, gold turned around and went up 850%. 850%. So be prepared for that kind of fluctuation in gold. If it goes down $300 or $400 an ounce, I hope I'm smart enough to buy more gold. And the same is true of silver. I own silver. If silver goes down, I hope I'm smart enough to buy more silver because in my view, the price of gold and silver over the next decade will go much, much higher. But be prepared for fluctuations because all markets fluctuate. And we're in a period of difficult times because many central banks and many governments are making serious mistakes with the world economy.
My last question is the euro. The euro is extremely strong and it's very indebted, crisis all over the place. What do you feel about the euro?
Well, first of all, I would say that the euro is a very good idea. I hope that the euro works and survives because the world needs something to compete with the US dollar. the euro on paper would be a good thing to compete with the US dollar. It's a large population, a large economy. Within the countries, most of the countries in Europe are sounder than the US financially. So the world needs something to compete with the dollar. The euro on paper would be a great thing. I own the euro. I own euros as we speak. I hope it survives. I don't think that in 10 years we will have a euro. Unfortunately, the euro is becoming a very political currency. Whenever something goes wrong, politicians blame the euro. They blame their problems on Brussels. But that's what politicians all over the world do. When something goes wrong, they find somebody to blame. And the euro is a whipping boy in Europe, and I'm afraid it won't be around in 10 years or 15 years. I hope it is. I hope I'm wrong, because the world needs something to replace or compete with the US dollar. I own it at the moment. I don't know if I'll own it tomorrow. I don't know if I'll own it next year, but at the moment I own it. Yes. Who's got the mic?
Mr. Rogers,
speak.
Please, what do you think about copper and copper mines?
Well, if you, all base metals are going to, the supply of all base metals is having problems. It takes 10 years to open a mine in the US and the world these days. There's a huge shortages of miners, mining engineers in the world. So the price of all commodities are going to continue to go higher over the next decade. But if the world economy slows down for a while, you may have at least a big dip in copper prices in copper prices for a while.